beautiful before and after, where the before looks pretty good, right? This video is all about how to use your brow pencil the best way, at least my best way. So I'm going to show you how I love to use my favorite pencil. So if that is you, then this is going to be your brow video. Hey everybody, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. I call myself a brow expert because I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years at the Anastasia salon in Beverly Hills. So please come by and get your brows shaped. Some of you have. Thank you for trusting me with your eyebrows, and it's been a pleasure meeting you. So like I said, this video is all about a brow pencil, my favorite brow pencil. I do have other pencils that I love as well, but you're going to see why this pencil could be your favorite pencil. Let's get to the video. So like I said, she's got beautiful eyebrows, right? And it's pretty because I properly shaped the brows. She is Asian, so the top area is a little bit straighter. And you know what? It's a little bit straighter down at the bottom, but this video is going to apply to anyone because like I said, it's going to be with my favorite Perfect Pencil. Okay, it's called Perfect Pencil. Now you notice that I have the pencil over the eyes. Now, I'm really big on this. If you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I like to hold the pencil above the eyes. Now, this side of my eyebrow is the left side, so I'm going to use my right hand just so that you can see how to best hold it. Now, I'm behind her, which is why I'm able to just do this. But for you, the reason why I like to hold it this way is because right at the edge of the pencil is at the edge of the eyebrow. If you hold it straight on, you flatten the pencil and you have to keep sharpening it, right? I mean, you still do every once in a while, but this way, look at this. You're getting it right at the edge, especially this area right here. That's the pocket where it should be straighter for most of us. You don't want it going opened up like a round, and you don't want it to be too like angled, just having it straight across, and you can always adjust that later. And that's why I like doing this right here at the edge. Now for me, again, I like to go a little straighter, so I'm just going straight but in an angle. For you, you might want a little bit more of an arch or opened up. Still keep it straight here. You can open it up at the corner there. Okay, so now this way is laying down this way. So I'm laying the pencil down. Notice that the middle part of that pencil is going to apply some color inside the eyebrows. And then at the tip of the pencil is going to go right at the edge of the eyebrow, which is why I love this pencil, because you can hold it in so many different ways. And with the right amount of pressure, it'll do a lot of the work for you. So right here, see at the edge? And this is the area where you can be a little generous with the color, meaning it can be a little bit on the darker side. So right here, see, I'm holding it like this, not like this, but I'm holding it like this, laying it down. The edge is right there, and then I'm laying it down, and then the inside of my eyebrows is getting color, but then right at that arch here, that tip of the pencil is going right at that area. Now, the reason why I say press a little harder is I always like a little bit of a darker look towards the end. You don't have to do that. That is just something I like. So now you notice that I'm holding it sideways. When you hold it sideways, laying it down like this, you tend to put less pressure. I don't like the front to be too dark. Even if you don't have much color at all, or just a couple of strays, still do this technique. You notice that it's just going sideways, up and down. This way, you're applying very little pressure. So say you have some hair here, but you're like, oh, I want a lot of color there. Try to refrain from that and hold it sideways, do this, and then do up. However is easy for you, but you want very light pressure, okay? That's why sometimes I suggest my clients to use a bit of a darker color so you can see the color and you don't press as hard, okay? Again, here up at the front, I do still want that background. I'm going back up in the front. Now, the reason why I do the front towards the middle to the end as opposed to right at the beginning is the first pressure is always your heaviest. So that's why I like to do the front kind of middle to the end of your brow application, only because, again, you're now getting the feel of the land, right? You know how much pressure to apply. So, and you know, the spoolie brush is such a great invention, especially with the pencil, because you're spooling, toning things down, you're coloring, then you're brushing, you're coloring, and then you're brushing. So I really, really like this. Love that they did that. Notice that towards the end of the eyebrows, now I'm pressing hard. I do want to show you that you can go bump it up for the evening and just add extra color just towards the end. So if you want something a little bit dressier, you can press a little harder at the end. I'm going to do that myself right here. And then this is giving you that darker, dressier ombre look. Ombre just means that, you know, it's the same shape, but one side, it's just gravitating dark to light. Okay, so there you go. And now the highlighter. The highlighter is always important because I always like something that just cleans it up. And even if it's not cleaning up any mess, it just gives it such a nice polished look to the eyelid, right? Okay, and the brush 18, the famous brush 18, this brush does not get tagged because it doesn't show up on my tagging. I don't know why. YouTube needs to change that. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong. So, but it is in the descriptions. So that's when you really could tighten up and say, okay, well, my brows slightly higher on one side. There's a little bit more pencil here. That's when you just go around the eyebrows. I'm always big on going above the brows as well and cleaning up anything that you need to clean up. Okay, so, and if you're Asian, make sure that the top area here is a little fuller. If you're not Asian, you can still want, you're still gonna want some color up here. So that way you get a little bit of a lift. So again, beautiful before and after. And the only product is the perfect pencil. So that's why, maybe that's why they call it, or she calls it, the perfect pencil. So this is why I wanted to show you this video, because, you know, you don't need a lot of products. You really don't. And I don't know if I showed you the brow gel, but obviously she needs a little bit of brow gel because the hair stands out. When you put brow gel over your eyebrows, a lot of my clients say they sometimes forget to do this. It obviously brings out the hairs because it's like kind of wet hair when you come out of the shower, it looks darker, and it just keeps the pencil on longer. Remember that, okay? So it's like a sealer. It shows off the hair, just does so many great things, but don't overdo it. Just a little goes a long way. We tend to put a ton on. It's like mascara, right? We put a ton on the eyelashes. You just don't want a lot on the brow hair. So what do you think? Are you more confident using the brow pencil, the perfect pencil that is? Let me know. All the products here today will be mentioned in the descriptions. They are tagged. Sometimes the tagging doesn't quite come up with the exact colors, which is why the descriptions are important. So let me know if you like this video. Subscribe, like, share for sure. And so that way I know if I'm doing the right thing. Thank you for those models that allow me to use their eyebrows, which is why their eyes are closed. I need their consent for that. So most of them are more comfortable with their eyes closed. And I'll see you guys next week.